Hey y'all, we back here with the Bag Talks, and I have a special guest today. We have Christian. He's part of DPD, and he's going to share his experience with us today about being a young 24, soon to be 25-year-old, part of the Detroit Police Department. I got a lot of questions for you. Let's get into it. Okay, my first question, and we kind of talked about this one in the car. How do you feel about people saying that they want to defund the police?
My opinions and stuff are not on the behalf of the Detroit Police Department or any government agency. They are my own opinions. It's kind of productive when we say, or people say, they want to defund the police. Minneapolis, for example, police were completely defunded, and now crime just runs rampant. They have a part of the city where they absolutely don't handle any calls. It's going to hinder us from doing a better job. So for the police means less training, less equipment to do our jobs. So it'll make it a lot more difficult for the police to actually, be the police.
That makes sense because it's like, why would the solution to our problem be to defund the people that are fighting for us? Even though I feel like people may not like the way that they feel like people are fighting, they don't understand that we're being protected regardless of the situation. Because every time something happens, who's the first people we call?
Shoot, the police.
Right. So, so I feel like it doesn't make sense. What do you wish people knew about the department that you feel like is a misconception?
That there's quotas for like tickets. That's like a big thing. There's a common misconception about, and I don't know when this like started, but there's a common misconception about quotas with tickets, like the first of the month, that type of thing. Very big misconception. There's no such thing as a quota when it comes to how many tickets and stuff you write. Officers don't. They're not a fan of writing tickets. I mean, myself included. It depends on. It depends on what exactly the offense was that's going to determine whether or not I'm gonna write a ticket. A lot of times, it's simple stuff that happens and everything, and it's
Right.
no problem with giving somebody a warning and stuff. That's why, like as officers, we have discretion as to when and if we give citations and stuff out.
Right.
But I would probably say another one is that all officers think the same, or just because one officer is messing up or something like that, that we're just gonna obviously take their side, and that's not the case. It's if if you're wrong, you're wrong at the end of the day.
So how deep is the brotherhood?
I mean, it's pretty deep. It's like you go to work with these people every day, and your life totally depends on the other person. And I mean, like the goal at the end of the day is just to go home the same way you left.
Can you talk about your experience? Like, what's something crazy that happened?
It's Detroit. You get something, it's
Right.
something new every day.
Yeah.
But, bodies, drugs, accidents. It's the same. It's the same thing every day.
So you just on the other side of it, whereas we see it once it's already out.
Yeah.
Mm. That's deep though, because Detroit is always something going on. So how is that organized?
I mean, you can't tell when an accident is gonna happen, or when a body is gonna turn up, or when somebody overdoses off of drugs. You just never know. If we did know all that stuff, it would make our job 10 times easier, and we could probably prevent like a lot of this stuff from happening. But you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So it's hard to prepare for stuff like that. Policing isn't it's not meant to be pretty.
Right.
So it's a very tough job when it comes to dealing with that kind of stuff. I mean, it's not gonna be pretty. Every arrest isn't gonna be, essentially you playing patty cake with somebody. Somebody's always gonna want to fight. Somebody's always not gonna want to go to jail or go to the hospital or you know answer for you got to be responsible. They're not gonna want to answer for their actions.
Mm. And how often is that? First of all, so how often is it that somebody just comes clean and be like, you know what, I
mean, more times out of not, but I mean, just what like a lot of the regulations and stuff within the city is like, we're not supposed to chase vehicles,
right?
If they aren't considered violent felony. So, for somebody that committed a homicide or attempted murder or anything like that, I mean, we can chase for those things like all day, but it could be a car that maybe ran a light that could have been a murder vehicle or something like that, and now we can't chase it. Or they might have something in that car. Hell,
right.
They could have kidnapped somebody, and now we're not able to chase them. But I mean, then again comes where there's a lot of officers that get into accidents. There's a lot of things in play when it comes to like chasing and stuff. Just the safety of the community comes first. So,
period.
But I mean, that sometimes either can hinder us from doing our job, or it could be like beneficial.
And that's so sweet how you look at both sides of it. You're not just like this side or that side. Do you think that comes from your military background, like having that democracy attitude?
No, not really. It's just I look at things from. I think it's fair to look at things from both sides. But as like I was saying before, it's very hard. I mean, it's very not hard. It's very easy to judge or have opinions about something when you're on the outside looking in.
Right. That's why I wanted to sit down and talk to you, because you have been on this journey for so long, and I'm so proud of you. And I really wanted to sit down and like just pick your brain about it, because like I feel like you don't let these things affect you. But if it were me, y'all, I would be so traumatized. Like, whoo, I really give it to you, and I appreciate you for protecting this country. Period.
I appreciate it.
Because a lot of people can't do that, especially at your age. Like at 24, like what? Are you the youngest person?
Mm-mm.
There's younger people?
Yeah, there's younger people.
Really?
There's younger officers. I had a classmate that was 19.
What?
Yep.
That's insane. Like, what? So, have you seen anybody, like, go on? Because this is stuff that the people kind of want to know, like, the background stuff. I know you can't say too much, but back to the brotherhood thing. Do you ever see people go on ego trips, or do you ever feel like...
Yeah. There's, my bad for interrupting you, but yes.
No,
this goes for, like, any profession. It's not just law enforcement. But if you were, like, an asshole, to say the least, before you became an officer, you're going to be an asshole when you become an officer.
Okay, preach.
The badge or whatever you want to call it, the shield, it's, it shouldn't change you as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the way that you think about certain stuff, maybe, but as a person, no.
Mm-hmm.
You just were an asshole before, but now you're an asshole with a badge.
Right.
So it's just, that stuff isn't like taught. That's something that you're either going to have or that you're not going to have. But it's just people get some sort of like power, or if you even want to say it like that. But some people get a little bit of a power, and then it goes to their head sometimes, especially if they're not used to being in like a position of like that nature. Like some people got bullied in high school, and now this is their first time that they can tell people what to do. So it goes to their head. It makes them feel good to be able to take control over people. But And again, that's not all what like policing is, but at the end of the day, like I said, if you were an asshole before, you're gonna be an asshole after the fact. So
No, that makes a lot of sense. So, what would you tell somebody that's interested in joining, but they may be kind of scared because of the things that they hear about in Detroit?
I say do it. I mean, you can go anywhere else, and it's gonna be the same thing. You know, just because it's Detroit and like crime happens here, crime happens everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Crime happens in Florida, Texas, every state that you can think of. I mean, you're not necessarily going to be, you know, safe anywhere. Even out in the suburbs, stuff happens out in the suburbs all the time. Just because you think you can, I don't know, go to a relatively safer place, doesn't mean something's not going to happen there. You hear about it all the time out in Rochester or Bloomfield. There's stuff that happens. Stolen cars get stolen from out of those places all the time. Or murders, crazy people. It can happen anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be Detroit. And
Right.
what a lot of people do and what the media likes to do is portray Detroit as like a bad place. They're gonna post a bunch of stuff that's gonna make that's gonna catch the public's eye. And you got to think about it is what's going to gain more publicity. Somebody saving someone from, I don't know, a burning building or a burning car or stopping a dangerous criminal, or somebody that just committed like 2 or 3 murders
Right.
or robbed a bank or something like that, which is going to cause more publicity.
Right.
The good stuff or the bad stuff.
The bad stuff for sure.
So it's a lot of stuff goes unnoticed that like a lot of officers do, and it doesn't get televised. So it's going to be easily it can be easily said that oh well, all police officers are bad or this, that, and the third. But I mean, my opinion is you either like some people are meant to be the police and some people are meant to call the police.
Right.
So I mean, you got to make that decision for yourself. But I say do it. It doesn't hurt with trying. It doesn't hurt trying it. I mean,
That's
if
cool.
you don't like it, shoot, you can do anything in your life that you want to do. But it's a good career field. It's not that popular because of, I guess, the public's opinion on police. It's cool nowadays to go out and commit crimes. It's cool to go rob people, steal cars, kill people, shoot people. Like, it's cool to do all that stuff now. It's not cool to do the right thing.
Right.
And it used to be, if you did the right thing, it was praised. But now, you're doing the right thing. It's kind of like you get ostracized.
Now, what you just said makes a lot of sense because I feel like, so my dad, he would tell me like he always wanted me to be a police officer, and I would be like, hell no, to the no, because I was scared. Like instantly, fear just comes to my mind when I think about it. And so how does that go into your family dynamics? Like, is your family usually worried about you, or are they extremely supportive?
Both. I mean, it's a dangerous job, and anything can happen at any moment. But they're also very supportive, which helps. Regardless of whether or not maybe some of my family had like previous run-ins with the law or anything like that, they're still supportive because I mean, at the end of the day, it's an honorable job.
It is. Yes, sir.
So you get to meet different people, you get to help people. I mean, you're meeting people. Like when you're going to like these calls, you're going to like these people's like it could be like the worst day for them. That's why they're calling the police, because whatever the case may be, they weren't able to handle the situation themselves. So you're meeting these people at the worst times of their lives, and you're there to try to help them through it. You're kind of like more or less like a miracle worker almost. Whether people see it that way or not, that's what it is.
Like you said, that part doesn't get televised. Like when people call in about mental health problems, And we talk about that a lot on this channel. Like, mental health is real, and people don't know how to deal with it. People don't even know that we have a crisis intervention center. We have like different resources for people, but nobody really knows about it because they don't post it on Crime and D. Like, hey, somebody figured out their problem today because they called in and got help.
Yeah, it's not the popular thing. It's not gonna catch the public's opinion. So, it's not the chances of something like that getting posted, and shown to like the masses is slim, almost slim. You can go on Crime and the D or Metro Detroit News now, and it's gonna be more posts about crime than anything. That's what's just gonna catch people's opinion. Be a few bad apples that make everybody else look bad, and then people are gonna say, well, why don't the good officers do something about the bad officers? We do all the time. That's why officers get fired. That's why officers get suspended. Some people get their licenses taken away. It's serious. It's just it doesn't get seen. But it's easy. Like I said, it's easy to have an opinion about something when you're not including it.
Because at the end of the day, we're all human. So we all need to look at each other and feel for each other and understand each other.
Put it in, you get good finds. Here to here, not here to judge, so you never wasting your good time. Gotta talk, just hit 'em up like speed dial, your main line. 24, they